I'm currently working on a series of paintings looking over Doncaster. I'm really enjoying going back to a spot again and again. I feel like I'm getting a bit deeper into the subject matter. And I'm really enjoying the aerial perspective, just trying to use colour to describe the distance. It's not so much about precise drawing, it's definitely more about colour, value, temperature and hue. This is probably my favourite on the drying rack at the moment. This is a brand new piece and it's still wet. The sky, it just had a few clouds drifting. It was approaching sunset and I just thought I've got to get out and paint. There was a lady further down the hill. I had no idea she was down there until she started to make this noise. And I'm thinking, is she all right? And I'm looking and suddenly I could hear another noise and it was the quacking of ducks. And I looked to the left and there's a line of ducks just pegging it down this hill, running really quick. And they ran all the way down quacking and got into the shed. So she was obviously calling them home. The ducks are literally just tiny splodges of paint to suggest the birds. But that's the reason it's my favourite really. It's just really natural, it's not fussy. And there's a freshness, a vitality in the colour and the handling of the paint. It's great to have a studio. I mean, I work outside probably 99% of the time, but when the weather's really rough and I don't want to be out so much, and it's nice to kind of just escape and use it as a safety place really, a place to come and paint self-portraits and still life occasionally, and also a place to showcase my work to existing collectors and potential collectors as well. But also I really want to kind of share this space with other creatives in the area. So I've had artists visiting from further afield. The poetry project actually use the space as a venue for a recital evening. So I'm conscious of having these incredible things at my disposal, the studio space and equipment and materials, but I don't want to be greedy with it. I'm trying to share it and let other people kind of tap into that so it becomes almost a hub for creativity. Thank you so much for coming this evening. Thanks so much for just being involved with this project. It means a lot to me, and I've just really enjoyed every minute, to be honest. I feel a lot better about the exhibition now. I was so nervous, and every creative doubts themselves, and I was definitely doubting and thinking, what am I doing? Why have I taken on such a big project? But nights like this, when it goes well, everyone turns up, everyone has a fantastic time. It really just makes it worthwhile, and I just cannot wait to get the exhibition up on the walls now in the museum. I don't always add figures in landscape, it really depends on each piece. there's kind of a narrative side of things, a narrative element. Family days out, people having fun, figures by themselves, which also tell a story in different ways. We're at the top of a hill, there's a brow of a hill, and there's really no distinction between this kind of tipping over, almost kind of water, we're approaching a waterfall, then we're going to be going down and then straight across. And the way I'm doing that is I'm really considering the proportions of the figure, the size of the figures relative to each other. This is a small, I think it was a lady and a guy with a little boy, and they're kicking a football. And then that relative to these figures, which really are, they're just tiny marks of colour. They're very definite tiny marks, so they're very considered in the way I put them down, the tone, the temperature and the colour. So although there's nothing there, everything's there at the same time. These little marks are actually, for me, whether people sense this or not, they're really loaded with meaning in terms of narrative and also kind of, just the elements of painting. This one's got a really different frame, and this is one of the older pieces. And as you develop as an artist and trends and stuff change, you'll get different framing styles. And this is the original frame it was put in a couple of years ago when I first made this piece. And the subject matter is Doncaster railway station, but it's actually a studio painting, and it's inspired by small sketches, drawings and paintings that are made on the platform, and I think it was platform 8 or 4 at Doncaster train station.
Right. How far?
Well, take it up to the
Firebox.
yeah, a bit further. Yeah, we've shifted that wall, so you've got that.
No, it's perfect.
Looks a bit more sort of open, doesn't it?
Really looks great.
Yeah.
So I was wondering whether things could be moved and stuff. So
Yeah, well,
that's on. Because there's quite a few pieces actually.
Yeah, you've got lots of work. Haven't you?
Yeah. This is a Wetherspoons painting. This one.
All right. Yeah. Any excuse.
Yeah, exactly. That's from my biscuit tin series
Yeah.
that I'm working on as well. Because you don't know if they're
Oh, right.
slightly warped.
Right, it's the same
I know what you mean. It looks like it needs to come down on the line.
Needs to get the drum right placed.
It does look like it needs to come down on the line. It's going to skew it.
It's a bowie top, isn't it?
Yeah. Everything's up on the wall and it looks good, it looks really good, and I'm really pleased with the hang, the way everything's sitting together. There's kind of little pockets of connections between the paintings, so some are displayed in groups of 4, groups of 3, some are quite random, and that also works as well. But I especially like the wall, which really is centred around the grounds of Cosworth Hall, which is I've got a real soft spot for the area, and I love painting over there. But I'm really looking forward to the private view this Saturday, and as I say, knowing that the show is up on the wall and it looks great, it's just going to make the whole thing a lot easier and a lot more relaxing at the private view. Here we are. I think hopefully you agree the show looks great, the poems are just fantastic, so in a sense it's quite different as an exhibition. In some ways you could say it's not coherent because there's so many different things, there's different styles. Personally, I think it's great that it shows my progress over 4 or 5 years, but most importantly, it's more interesting for the poets. There are a couple of pieces that are brand new, but within that there's works like Crompton Avenue, which is the street I live on. That's a 4-year-old painting. And then you have got brand new pieces like the one behind Mr. Terry Chip just there, the top left. That's a view over a view over Doncaster from Cusworth. And that is from a brand new series of work, a brand new body of work. This painting really, the view over Doncaster from Cusworth, we've had 3 sessions on it so far. It's not far off finished, to be honest, this piece. I probably have one more session on it and then I'll leave it as it is. And my work's never going to become photographic. I'm not interested in that. I enjoy the painterly application, you know, the brush marks and the colour, and just being out there, just trying to unpick nature as much as I can. But at the end of the day, I don't really know anything. I don't think any of us do, and the whole thing's a mystery. And again, that's something I love, and that's why I keep doing this. It's a funny business, really, knowing when a painting's finished. An analogy I like to use, and I've used in the past, is that a painting is like a cloth full of water. When you're painting, you're wringing it out, as you know, getting as much out as you can, really. I really enjoyed observing the activity, suggesting the activity of families and people coming and going, having picnics, little boys and girls playing with footballs and stuff at the top of the hill, and you know the sounds that you hear, the joy that kids give off when they're happy. You may take a cap from a little lad, you know, a sun cap, and then another kid might come along with a ball, and you think, actually that'll work, so you'll add a ball. So I think life is a bit like a sweet shop or a candy store. You can kind of pick and choose what you want, and that's what I find fascinating. You know, working from life, there's opportunity for change and to learn new things. Some time ago, I was teaching part-time in a Doncaster school, and there definitely came a point where I had to make a decision because I had this kind of nagging sensation that I needed to be painting all the time, throwing myself into it wholeheartedly. It wasn't an easy thing because I'm not a commercial, slick artist in the sense that I'll go and paint what people want. I'm painting as much for myself as I can, and I really do mean that. It's been a ropey ride, it's been rough, it's been up and down, but now it's such a great feeling that things really are, hopefully, for good now, that things are kind of taking off and sales are more consistent, and I guess that's natural. You pick up more collectors, people that kind of appreciate your vision and your direction, and that grows. And when you've got your work in someone's house, they might host a dinner party or something like that, or just have a friend over for coffee, and then someone else will see your work on the wall and think, well, who's that? And then they have a conversation about you, and then you've got more people coming to you. But all I know is this is what I'm going to do forever. I will do it till I die. Hopefully I'll be painting longer than 5 years, you know, but I will do this till my dying day. I'm born to be an artist, and I will always do it.